Shai, you guys have had some experiences where
My bad.
no, you're good. Where teams, put that kind of game pressure on you in the second half. They've made a comeback, and you haven't closed it off the way that you did. What was working for you all tonight? What were you able to get to in that second half to respond to their run and really slam the door?
Yeah, we were resilient. Usually during those stretches, we kind of fray from our identity as a group. And I think we got back to that with the right amount of time left in the game to kind of sustain the lead. We had a big lead. And then at the end of the day, just pull out a win. That's what it's about, adjusting on the fly and being able to win games, especially on the road.
The three-point shooting tonight for you, for Isaiah as a team, what helped everybody seem so on balance with every shot that they took from behind the arc?
We have shots that each individual player knows they're like want to shoot. They know what type of shots they get coming into every game, what kind of shots they make. And that's something that we chart as a group, shots that are comfortable for each player, and what type of shots. And we try to stay within that kind of guideline for taking shots throughout the game. And it results in more efficient shooting nights just because everyone's taking shots that they're comfortable shooting.
Shai, you guys went small several times throughout this game, and Coach said that you guys had a lot of scrap when you guys were in those sort of small lineups. Just what does that scrap look like for you guys out there, and how important are those moments and when you're playing small like that?
Yeah, just doing whatever it takes to win. Loose balls, gang rebounding. Just making effort plays to figure out how to win possessions and ultimately win games is what it looks like.
And 51 points off the bench. Obviously, Isaiah had a huge role in that. But what did you think of just the lift and the balance from everybody that stepped onto the floor tonight?
Yeah, it was good. We have a group of guys that are very capable, and guys stepped up big tonight, played well, played within their comfort zone, like I said, and we're good enough for us to get a W.
Why do you think the guard-to-guard screen action, the wing guard screen action is so effective for you guys?
It's different. Usually a screening action is like a guard bar handler and a big setting the screen. And it's a little bit different. A lot of guards aren't used to playing pick and roll coverage all night, and we know that, and it's something that we like to attack just because we know it's different.
Can you tell how, that defenses are almost trying to solve on the fly?
Hey, I'm not too sure. I haven't thought about that, but like when we're playing that style of basketball and fast, we do feel pretty hard to guard.
How difficult has it been, for you guys, the guards on this team, to like learn? Screening is kind of a complex thing in the league, and how practiced do you guys feel at that?
Yeah, we do it every day. It's a style of play that we know we want to play every night, and we've gotten kind of used to it. But yeah, we work on it a lot.
Sorry, one more.
Good?
Kaysen threw you a lob today, and he's thrown a lob in just about, I think, each of the last 3 games. Just has he shown that ability a lot in practice, or is that something that's just shown up a lot in games? Were you expecting that lob in particular?
Yeah, that's new for all of us. But yeah, as long as he keeps executing, we'll allow him to do so. But yeah, that's completely new.
Anybody else? Thank you, Chet.
Gallo, OKC Thunder. Chet, they put quite a bit of game pressure on you all in that third quarter, cut it to 1. What did you notice out there that you guys either executed on or just maybe your approach to have the poise you needed to break the game back open?
We did a great job of playing together and playing for each other. At the end of the day, that's what got us really good looks. And shout out to our team. We made some really big shots. Isaiah was out there cooking and really pushed the lead at the end of the game. So, and credit to all the dudes who were finding him. Just overall a great team effort.
They shot, I think, 41%. Just wanted to ask you about kind of the half court, the first shot defense, and the way that you guys were able to force a lot of misses tonight.
Yeah, we didn't want to let them come in and beat us doing what they wanted to do. I feel like we did a really good job of making them look towards the second option, the third option, second side, third side. Really have to move the ball to find a look, and we put a lot of pressure on them in the half court, and it showed in the stats.
Chet, Mark talked some about tinkering with the lineup to kind of offset Looney and the glass and whatnot, and he mentioned it over the course of the game. By the fourth quarter, the glass and defense on Looney kind of stabilized. Just what did you see there over the course of the game?
Long shots make long rebounds, and when you're really scrambling, you really got to try and find a body, because that ball could go anywhere, and they're sending dudes to the glass. So it's a big rebounding night in terms of what we got to key on, and credit to them. They did a great job hustling on the glass, and we got to come back and be better for that on Saturday.
Chet, is there over here? Is there some sense in your mind that this is just a trade-off? Some of the rebounding stuff, the number of playmakers you guys can put on the floor, the havoc you can kind of create defensively with the lineup you have, you'll just have to give up some of that.
I feel like that's kind of somewhat of like a cop-out or excuse, I guess. Yes, we have a lot of great playmakers out there on the floor, a lot of people who can make plays with the ball. And because of that, our offense is doing really good early on in the season. And one of the downsides right now is we're not rebounding as well as we need to be. But we're not looking at it like that's just what it is. We're looking at it as something that we have to be better at. And it's going to take time figuring it out. But that's why we play 82 games. We got 70, 60, 69, 70, 71 left.
We got 70 games.
70. Man. I dropped out, so I can't do math anymore.
Chet, obviously, Klay Thompson obviously didn't have it going tonight, 1 of 6 from 3, and Lou had a big role in that, but Mark gave you a lot of credit for being really high in those screens, getting up there and contesting. Just what was that sort of assignment like for you defensively, having to get up and help on a shooter like that as well?
Whatever's needed in any game, whatever coach asks me to execute, that's what I'm going to go out and try and do. And credit to him and my teammates for putting me in a position to be successful. Obviously a great player like Klay Thompson, you don't want to make anything easy for him, so just really making sure that you're out there and making those looks tough. And I feel like we did that tonight as a team. It wasn't just one person guarding him the whole game. It was Kaysen, it was Lou, it was me, it was whoever was switched on him. We did a lot of flying around on defense, and credit to our whole team for really keying in on the game plan.
You guys use so many different players as the screener and the roller. So much good action came off of like a Kaysen roll or a Kenrich roll. As a shot blocker or a guy that's down there, how difficult is that for opposing teams to deal with that type of guard-to-guard screening and having those guys dive to the rim like that?
It's definitely a different look than what a lot of teams see. A lot of teams just see the big screening and rolling all night long, and it pulls what's usually the best rim protector out of the paint, and it forces the other team to have a smaller person at the rim, or no person at the rim at all. So it's just kind of trying to figure out different ways that we can create advantages, and that's one of them. We have a lot of different ways of doing that, but that's been successful for us.
Anybody else?
Chet, are you able to gain an advantage at all by being the even though you guys are the road team, you're playing here again in 2 days? Is it kind of nice that you're able to kind of stay in the same place and maybe get a little bit of a rhythm going here?
Yeah, throughout the season, there's a lot of traveling, so any opportunity you get to kind of stay in place and find a rhythm like you're talking about where you're at is great, and we're trying to take advantage of that. We had a great game tonight. Obviously, a lot of things that we can learn from for Saturday, and we have to do that, and we have to understand that this team's not just going to come in with the same game plan as they did tonight. They're going to make adjustments, and we do too, in order to win the next game.
Chet,
Last question.
I'm curious because we talked about lobs recently, and every time we ask one of your teammates, they say that you being a lob threat is the reason why lobs are being thrown now more this season. But is it funny at all that it seems like everybody else is catching the lobs? Does it feel like you're in position for the lobs ever?
Yes and no. Sometimes just having the gravity of the other teams knowing that they can throw it up. It happened in the last game too. Sometimes opposing players or teams will really kind of sink in towards me on the drop or whatever it might be. And it gives a better lane for our drivers, our playmakers, our people handling the ball. And if the other team does that and they give up 2 points for the layup instead of giving me the lob, it's 2 points either way. I'm happy to help my teammates, and it's a successful play either way. So just because I'm not catching 8 lobs a game doesn't mean me rolling isn't purposeful and effective out there necessarily. So, but yeah, I mean, we threw lobs tonight too. A lot of them are happening on a fast break, which is great. Guys are playing for each other and looking for each other, so we got to keep it up.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep. Y'all have a good night.
Josh, just want to ask you about the poise that you all showed in the second half. You had a big lead. They cut it down to 1. What did you feel out there on the floor in terms of the way that you guys were able to respond, and not just respond competitively, but execute too?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously a talented team offensively, and we knew, with the firepower that they have, they were going to make runs. And I thought the way we were able to withstand them, the end of the third in particular, they made a run, they got hot. We couldn't really buy a bucket down there, but I think the way we composed ourselves, started the fourth quarter, that group that was out there was phenomenal, and I think that really won us the game. But I thought we did a really good job of when they went on their runs, we didn't flinch. We bounced back, we stayed solid, and against a good team like this, they're always going to keep coming at you. And I thought the group that started the fourth really broke the game open for us, and then the unit that came in was able to close it out.
You guys made so many threes tonight. Obviously, Isaiah was a huge factor in that, but so many of them created off of various guard-to-guard screens, a lot of guys rolling to the rim. How much does that factor in, the unpredictability of who you're going to put into actions? How much does that factor into the looks that you guys got tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. Obviously, we got a lot of guys that can knock down shots, and Isaiah, obviously shot the ball really well tonight. But we had 30 or something assists, and when we move the ball like that, guys are unselfish. We get good looks, and I think, as usual, our defense sparks a lot of our offense, and we got stops, got out in transition, and we look good, and we moved the ball, got good looks, and didn't make them all, but sticking with that over the course of 48 minutes is going to balance out, and those looks are going to start to drop, and they did. We shot the ball pretty well from three-point line, and 30 plus assists is a very, very good offensive night, and 120 or whatever we scored is a very winnable game for any game throughout the season.
Your offense has been a hot topic so far this season, but your defense has seemed to take a step in a positive direction. What's been your mindset on that end of the floor?
I mean, exactly that. Just being a neutral defender at worst. I know there was times throughout my first couple of years where teams would try and pick on me and put me in matchups, but just being more solid, not letting myself be that guy. I know when we start getting into when this team keeps developing and we get into postseason, that's a lot of the game, picking on matchups, and I want to take pride on that end and be able to sit down and keep guys in front of me, help our bigs on the board. So the defensive end is something I've obviously done a lot of film on, talked with coaches a lot on, but something I'm really trying to buy into and be able to. Especially with that first unit, Lou and Jalen, just to try and make their job as easy as possible with doing my job. And I think if everyone else can buy into the system defensively, we're going to be a very, very tough team to score against.
Josh, the past couple of days, obviously, we talked about you leaning into your identity in the past few games. Just how did you try to choose your spots tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I thought early on, we were all getting off it early. We were moving the thing, and as I said, it opens up lanes. It's kind of like a byproduct of what you do as a whole. And for me, I didn't force anything. I think I took the right shots, and tonight they go in, and it's not going to be like that every night. I could come in 2 days and go 0 for 10. So just continuing to double down on the good looks. I know over a course of 82 games, that stuff evens out. It balances itself out. So, early on, the misses and those type of things didn't bother me. Just staying confident, trusting, what you've done all off season, the work you've put in, and eventually, it's going to pan itself out. So, obviously it feels good to knock a few down, but we're heading in the right direction. And when we play unselfish like that, the game's fun for everybody.
Josh, you mentioned the 31 assists tonight. 6 guys scored in double figures. Everybody that stepped into the game scored for you guys. When the offense is going the way that it's going for you guys, like it did tonight, how valuable is that balance that you guys have on the offensive end?
Very. We've got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things, and when we're playing the way we did tonight, it's a lot of fun, and everyone's involved, and no one feels like they're out there, just going corner to corner, and that's the best way to play. When everyone's having fun offensively, I think everyone's a lot more engaged defensively. So it goes both ways. But when we play like we did tonight, we're a very tough team to guard. When we move the ball, we get the second, third side actions. We're a tough team to stay in front of. So I thought we did a really good job of that tonight, and obviously it's something we've emphasized. And as a pass-first guy, it's kind of my job to start that engine and get the ball moving around, and it becomes a contagious effect.
Josh, you talk about the ball going in. It's not going to be like that every night. Isaiah's 7 for 7 from 3 tonight. Kaysen is 2 for 2. What kind of luxury is it to have those guys off the bench who really get that stuff like kind of within the rhythm of the offense, and they're not really freelancers?
Yeah, it's a luxury to have. I mean, there's no drop off from first to second unit. We've got guys that can come in and provide that type of scoring punch. It's huge for our group, and obviously Zay, that's what he does. He shoots the ball, and misses never phase him. He has kind of that unconscious mindset where he's coming out blazing, and he can miss 10 in a row, and that 11th one's going up. And as I said, it's a real luxury to have when the first unit changes out and the second one comes in, that there's no let up. We've got guys all through the roster, 1 to 15, that can make plays and make things happen, and it's a really good thing to have. And these guys continue to gain confidence, and as the season goes on, they become very, very important. And we're seeing that early on that they can have real impacts on winning, and they did that tonight.
You guys are right now, I think, ranked 7th defensively in the league. But I think the general perception is all of the offensive capability that you guys have, all the playmakers that you have. What's this team's identity from the locker room standpoint? Do you guys think of yourself as an offensive team or a defensive team? What do you think the strength is?
Obviously the offense speaks for itself. We've got a very talented offensive group, but we hang our hats on the defensive end. We spend a lot of time, watching film, emphasizing defensive game plan, and I think we've got guys that really buy into that end. Obviously a lot of it starts with you. We're very fortunate to have guys like Lou and Jalen, and a guy like Chet protecting the rim. So our point of attack defenders are, in my opinion, elite, some of the best in the league. And then it's just up to our, supporting cast for them to make their job easy. And I thought we've done an awesome job of that. But I still think there's so much room for us to get better on that end of the floor. If we can clean up defensive rebounding, that's obviously been a big area for us that we've emphasized and focused on. But it's just something I think if we can clean that up, it's going to take our defense to another level when we limit teams to 1 shot. So, it's no secret that's something that's got to get better. But defensively, guys are buying in, and that's where we want to hang our hats. Thanks, guys.
You had it going tonight, but the group as a whole, 19 made 3-pointers. Just what was it about the looks that you all were able to generate tonight that made tonight such a big night offensively?
Yeah, I think that was just a product of us moving the ball. Once we get the ball hopping, the ball has energy, and that showed tonight. A lot of guys were able to knock down shots, and I think you just got to commend the offense, commend everybody willing to share the basketball, and that showed tonight.
Everybody, when we talk about you shooting, everybody compliments your confidence as a player, whether you're 0 for 6 or 7 for 7, you're going to shoot the ball with the same confidence regardless. Just where does that confidence come from for you?
Preparation, but really I just got to commend my teammates and the coaching staff having confidence in me to go out there and to be able to, shoot the shots that they allow me to take. I have confidence in myself, but just them, whether I'm making or missing shots, they're, shoot the next one. I'm always shoot the next one like it's going in. But yeah, they definitely don't, look away. Every time I'm open, they find me. And so now it's just my job to knock down a shot.
Isaiah, you got some pretty clean ones over the course of the night. The 6th one, the next to last one, you kind of had to sidestep, shot fake and sidestep it. when you've made so many, does that shot feel? I mean, do you let go of that one thinking it's going in?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you just build a rhythm over the course of a game, especially if you get the looks that I got tonight that my teammates were able to set me up for. Yeah, by the time that one got there, shooting into an ocean. So it just definitely got a rhythm. Teammates kept looking for me, and I think that was just a product of that.
Did you know you hadn't missed all night?
I mean, yeah, you're out there. You feel the rhythm. I know I didn't miss. Yeah.
7 for 7 tonight. How big was the rim for you?
I think you could tell based off the 7 to 7. But yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just gonna commend my teammates because without them, the rim would never be open like that.
And then you're known as a shooter on this team, but your defense has taken a huge step. What's been your mindset on that end of the floor?
Yeah, I mean, I think defense wins games, and make or miss shots. You got to find a way to stay on the court, and being a liability on defense will not help you stay on the court. And I think we do a really good job, not just myself. I think everybody on our team keying in on the game plan, especially defensively, and that shows in games like tonight.
Isaiah, 7 for 7 holds up with some of the better performances in this building. So I'm curious, just across your career, where does this rank in terms of memories as a shooting performance?
Being able to shoot the ball my entire life, I've definitely had, a lot of great shooting games. It's definitely, up there with some of the best of them. But I think over the course of, my career, I've had quite a few good shooting nights.
All right. Thank you, Isaiah.
Thank you.
For a team that's as young as this and is probably further than most young teams, I guess how impressive is it for, players like Kaysen and Isaiah to be such good role players at this stage already?
They were great tonight. I thought we had great focus to start the game. I talked about that before the game from our last road trip. And I thought we came out and really executed on both ends of the floor and through the first punch. And then I thought we had great poise throughout. And, we're a young team, but, these are challenges for any team. Any team has to have poise on the road. Any team's going to drift at times, like we talked about before the game. So we just want to hold ourselves to that standard. We don't want to use age as an excuse.
Nick Gallo, OKC Thunder, you mentioned the poise. When they cut it to 1 and put that type of game pressure on you, what did you notice out there in terms of the way that you handled that and the way that you executed?
Well, they really outplayed us in the latter part of the second quarter and to start the third. We really didn't get burned a ton to start the third, but I just thought we were at 80% effort, and I thought we kicked it into gear there, and that group at the end of the third to start the fourth really ignited us with toughness, defense, rebounding. That was our best rebounding stretch of the game on a night, obviously, where they hurt us there, and that really allowed us to open that lead back up.
The shot making was unbelievable. The build-up, was that what you noticed, or was it guys being on balance when they shot? What stood out to you about just the way that you guys knocked down threes tonight?
Well, you can't expect to shoot the ball like that every night. That obviously comes and goes. That's why we emphasize all the things we can control, because that's the thing you have the least control over. But you can still win on a night that you don't shoot it great. So we're not going to shoot 60% every night, but I do, as I said before the game, this season so far, I think we've generated really, really good looks, and I think some of the shooting success to this point has been a reflection of that. But it's also going to correct, like I said, 60% or whatever we shot tonight is, really high.
Mark, it seemed a little bit like your starting group was just kind of out of rhythm offensively, just didn't quite find it on a night when that is happening for whatever. One, did you think that did happen? And on a night when it is happening, what kind of luxury is it to have a guy like Isaiah who can do a thing like that?
Yeah, I thought different problems for the starting unit in each half. I thought to start the game, they cross-matched Saric onto our guards, and they put a small on Chet, which we've seen before, and we're anticipating teams will do that at times. And it just kind of took us a minute to calibrate that. And then once we did, we played with a lot of pace, and I thought we were able to kick it into gear there. And then I thought our effort to start the third wasn't great. I thought that was, our problem there. But 48-minute game, you're going to drift in and out. You're not going to stay in a perpetual state of idealistic basketball. So you got to be able to course correct, and I thought we did that tonight.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about Lou's defense on Klay Thompson. Obviously, he just did not have it going at all tonight. Just what did you see from Lou? I know it's something we've seen a lot over his career, but did anything in particular stick out about his effort tonight?
Yeah, I think it's a different type of cover for Lou. He's obviously really, really good with the guys that have the ball in their hands, and this is a huge developmental improvement for him. He's always struggled more with the movers, like the Brad Beals, the Bookers. He's still excellent, but he's not quite as good on those guys as he is on the guys he can really just lock in on with the ball. And he's really improved there. And then the other thing I want to point out is the five-man defense, where Chet did a hell of a job on Thompson. We asked him to be up there a little higher to contest in case we're late. He did a great job tonight in that. We had great switches with K-Rich. Kaysen guarded Thompson to start the fourth quarter. They had Paul and Thompson out there to start the fourth in that unit. Really defended, and competed. So it was a team effort tonight on Thompson. He's a tough guy to slow down, as we know.
Mark, I'm curious about how you felt about Looney's early minutes. I know you subbed Chet out in the first and then put him back in and then subbed him out again and put him back in with Kenrich. Just what did you see there, and then as the game went on, what did you see in terms of the changes defensively?
Yeah, we were playing the matchup game a little bit there at the five because Looney and Sarge are there's a diversity there of skill sets, and so we were moving things around to just try to stay in optimal coverages with those guys. Including the glass, obviously, with Looney. So I thought we got caught a little bit in the first half, and then we found a rhythm substituting, and Chet did a really good job in the second half on the glass especially.
Hey, Coach, forgive me if I have some of these facts wrong. I don't watch every single Thunder game, but my recollection is last year, a lot of the time, start of the second, start of the fourth, you would go out there with Josh Giddey when Shai was out of the game as kind of the main creator. This year, when I've seen you guys, it's been more J-Dub in that role. Can you comment on that change, the reason behind it?
Well, we want to have two of those guys out there and two creators, and we've moved that around a little bit. We're still exploring our team. We're not locking into one thing right now, so it's been Dub and Giddey together quite a bit with Chet usually, and with Micic playing the last couple games, we've slid him into that role with Dub out there, and we'll continue to move it around and take a look at different things. We want to stay open-minded with the team and different combinations. We went small tonight more than we have all season with Kenrich at the five. I mean, we're going to keep it moving, but that's the reason. But Giddey's been out there a good amount if you look back, over the course of the 12 games during the stretches you're talking about.
Mark Kaysen at one point rips the ball away from a guy. He's in there kind of digging for loose balls and fighting. Is he ahead of where you expect a rookie to be just from a competitive standpoint?
Probably ahead of a baseline rookie, but there's a reason, Sam really liked him, and I think you're looking at it, he doesn't play with his tuxedo on. He's a grimy, gritty player. And he's like that every night. He stays in character on that. It's really impressive. And just the passes, just simple plays. He'll have a steal, and I think it's tempting for a guy when you have a play like that to try to go, cap it on the other end, and he'll just move it to the next guy. He just plays the play in front of him. That's the most impressive thing to me about him. But the toughness is not surprising.
You guys went really small tonight with Looney out there. Did you see everything you wanted from those small lineups?
We saw a lot of things we wanted last year with those small lineups, and K-Rich, at the five gives us some defensive versatility and also is a really, connecting player on offense. So he's uniquely qualified, to give us some versatility in those lineups. We just, now that he's back, we're going to start to work that in. But Jay Will's done a great job for us. We're going to have plenty of nights where we stay traditional.
Have you kind of been waiting for him to get back to test that out a little bit more?
We did it with Dub a little bit before that, at the five. It's been successful for us. It opens up the floor. We have guys that scrap. Isaiah Joe's out there at that time. Kaysen. Those guys really compete, and that allowed, having guards that stick their nose in the fight, allow you to do that.
Coach, it's always a challenge to play the same team 2 times in a row, especially after you beat them like this. What can you do as a coach to get these guys ready to go Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know what to do. You have any suggestions? With this particular team, I'm not a big motivational guy. It's more I just try to very clearly lay out what the challenge is. and they're so competitive and internally motivated, and there's such a collective. I think if you just put the challenge on the plate for them, usually they rise to that. I tried to do that tonight. Talking about our last road trip, didn't start great. Against Sacramento, much better against Phoenix. Laid that out for them and said, look, this is the challenge tonight. We're playing against a shorthanded team that's going to be a spirited group. They're on a losing streak. How are we going to respond to that? And you just kind of let the question sit. And with this particular group of guys, they usually, respond well to that without much prompting. Thank you, guys.